Okay, so today we're going to do something absolutely mental. And I think as a consequence, there's going to be loads of questions. Pop over to thecrowhillcompany.com. We've got this area called the Hub. We always put assets up to accompany the videos. There's forum links connected to talk about them, but also every week, 7 p.m. UK time, on our Extras channel, our podcast, live. Or is it? I guess it's less of a podcast and more of a conversation that we have every week where everyone's welcome. Right, let's start the video. We're going to make a sample company from scratch, including make the sample instruments, get the website up, and I've got an idea of how to sell some stuff to demonstrate, I think, how easy it is these days to set up something that possibly could be an additional source of revenue for musicians.
Christian and I have known each other for it's going on about 10 years. And the very, very first day I met him, he told me, as soon as I told him I was a saxophone player, he's like, I hate the saxophone.
For many of you music makers, you'll know that you have what's called two sides, two sets of rights. You have the mechanical recording rights, i.e. the recording, but also the IP, the value of the compositions that you are responsible for authoring.
We've always joked about it, like do a saxophone sample library at some point. It's never came around.
Well, I have always maintained that another revenue source is that of sound, your sounds.
This week, he just decided that it was a quiet week, wasn't a lot going on at Crow Hill, so let's just start up a sample company and see how long it takes us. And it was going to be a saxophone sample library that was going to get released. It took me 10 years to get there, but at least I finally got the sample library out of him. So it'll take another 10 years for him to do any sort of saxophone sampling again.
So what I'm hoping to show us today, or remind us of, is how we can, in a small way, help to keep a musician being a musician, which is something we should all want. I'm going to handle the sampling, GUI design, and the implementation into a sample library. You're going to be doing the playing, the blurb. Anna, you could do the branding stroke graphic assets. Photography and video stuff, we need to come up with a name for a company. It needs to be searchable on Google. It might be worth, I'm just going to add, just checking the company's house and then checking the URL. Always recommend trying to find a .com. And then we need to research into WeTransfer. You have to connect it to Stripe. Get a YouTube channel, get an Instagram channel. We should probably get some BTS before we've started sampling. Close-ups of saxophones, stuff like that for Anna to work with. And a logo. What I'll do in literally now is leave you guys to have a chat whilst I set up the microphones and the stuff for the stuff.
I've always been a big fan of Blue Note Records. It's not like a minimal design, it's quite nice black and white photography, but then the fonts are always really cool.
It's your company, so I feel like it obviously has to have something that maybe something you're interested in, or something in along those lines, because you're really into your vinyl. Christian's right of trying to make it quite broad, but then also kind of want to give a bit of a vibe at the same time. It needs to be a word that looks good in font as well.
Sure.
Some words just look they don't quite work. They don't look very well balanced.
A name would be good to have Surnesh.
Yeah.
I can't get YouTube or Instagram
Sure.
or the website or the domain without knowing what we're calling it.
Yeah.
So
sometimes you kind of want these things to be you just need one little thing and then you just go, then you're okay, that's it.
Need a moment of inspiration.
It pops into your head suddenly.
Because it's
I honestly think whatever comes first is probably what you should probably go for, because you don't want to start overthinking it too much. Okay.
Perfect.
Right.
Cheers, Anne.
Have fun.
Do we know why we have them so close together? Phase discrepancies. Speed of sound very slow. So the minute you start moving mics apart, you get that phasing sound that like when you synchronize dialogue. These are really good for brass instruments. I think they're figure of 8. They don't just pick up the air in front of them, they pick up the air around them. And the thing with brass or saxophone, if you just microphone the instrument, you get this really strange, very synthy almost sound. So it's really important to get as much of the air around it, because these things project. Also, Alan's got a big one with him today. This I wouldn't usually use on a saxophone, KM184. So this is Cole's KM184. It's like a really detailed mic, but particularly good for top end. But I want to use this just for the kind of fizz, because we're not making a kind of a virtual instrument, we're making a drone library. And I think the fizz of the low baritone sax provides all of the upper harmonics, which will create a drone that is audible on all devices, which you need to be aware of as a media composer these days, because everyone watches their shit on iPhones, and I am guilty as charged. I really, really love not using computers to record. I'm sure there's a computer in there, but we use these sound devices, mix pre's, which are designed as location recorders, predominantly designed for the human voice. And I find that anything that is kind of geared around the human voice tends to sound good, but also it's got a really good AD converters and mic pre's all built in. You can stick a 256 gigabyte card in the back, and you just set it off and just record the session, and then just organize it, put it into a computer, organize all that stuff later. But it just basically means you're kind of devoted and not looking at your computer. And also just the sound of a space bar hitting stop. I think that is probably the most recorded thing in humanity. And when the aliens come and find us after the apocalypse, the most recorded thing will be the sound of a space bar hitting stop. Right, so I'm ready for Alan.
So, Alan,
Jack.
I'm going to start this off with a real easy softball for you. Who is Alan Glenn?
Who is that? Oh God, I'm a saxophone player. I have been since I was about 8 or 9. I started playing saxophone. Studied at Strathclyde University when I turned about 18. Went to uni here. When I graduated, I was lucky enough. I auditioned and got awarded a scholarship to study at Berklee College of Music in Boston. So that was my kind of late teens, early 20s, was spent really just studying the instrument and studying not just the instrument but music, and studying like orchestration, composition, etc. And yeah, just came back from Berklee and had just worked as a freelance player. I was doing a little bit of teaching in different kind of local authorities, etc. Got a job at Edinburgh College just teaching 1 hour a week, and then that 1 hour a week became like a few hours, a couple of days. I was in the classrooms doing music tech stuff, composition for film and television, composition techniques, etc. I mean, I was there for about 17 years, so it's a long time. I know I look a lot younger, but it was a long time to be there. And then last year, I just took the decision that I wanted to do something different. I turned 40, and I thought, you know what, I want to go back out and just do something. I'm not saying the job wasn't interesting, but I want to do something new. So I decided that I was going to leave, and I came to work for Crow Hill last year.
These are actually just volume knobs. What you need to do is set the gain, but what the lights demonstrate is the actual gain to tape, and it always records like a stereo mix of what you've done. Does the sound actually come out of that?
The sound only comes out of there when you're playing like its lowest note.
Okay.
So because it's just a tube like with a load of holes in it, the sound will mainly come out wherever like the last hole is closed.
The thing with recording for me is just put your ear close to, so if you could just play away variety of ranges and stuff and move and then low.
So that's that note, that last note is the one it's all.
But it's still high. It feels very much kind of. So if I put the microphone kind of there. So I think we should do what is a like half an MU session, which is an hour and 17 and a half minutes.
Okay.
Basically, the instrument I'm most interested in for drones is the Barry.
Yeah.
So we use that as the basis. I think we should do the entire selection of samples we're going to do, and then if we have time for the tenor, we'll do the tenor, and then we'll just keep alto in reserve. So what's the lowest note?
On this, like when you transpose, it's a low A, so
A
that
low
would be C.
96K 32-bit floating point. To launch Alan's sampling career, we're going to use a totally free platform called Pianobook. It's an insanely popular network of people who really help each other with the sound making process, designing the GUIs, all of that kind of stuff. And I'd humbly recommend getting involved. There's 1,641 sample packs, 501,232 users, there's 631 creators, and there's been so far 3,527,466 downloads. So what have we got for lunch today, Matthew?
We've got a tando mackerel rice, we've got pomegranates with oregano and sesame, pickled rhubarb, and yoghurt.
Matthew, you've got a really wonderful book out about fermenting, don't you?
Yes, came out about 2 weeks ago. Do ferment. Please do.
Buy it.
What was interesting, and what again you get an insight into Christian's kind of process, is that he's not looking for perfection at all. Like, he doesn't look for like the note to be perfect and the pitch to stay exactly the same all the time, because it's so hard to do, especially when you're playing quietly. It's like super difficult to keep it in tune and whatever. And you would look at him, when you're doing the recording, and he would, every time a note would crack or the pitch would change slightly, he'd smile. So you kind of knew that actually that's what he wanted. And as soon as you kind of realised that he wasn't looking for perfection, he was looking for something a little bit like raw or dirty or whatever you want to call it, you then thought actually it's not, you can kind of relax on it a little bit. Sampling a saxophone, that is actually probably the hardest thing I've ever done. Like, physically, it's like one of the hardest things, because it was an hour and just over an hour of basically playing long notes and those kind of rhythmic patterns for Christian whilst he recorded it. So I had to take a break every so often, because you were starting to get lightheaded of just, it was just relentless.
Rest. Wait. Let's just do that last one again. Yeah, we're not needed to make a video today.
But everybody.
Hello.
Yeah.
So, how are we getting on? Let's do progress reports. Alan and I have recorded the samples. I have edited the free sample pack. It's sounding pretty fucking intense. How are you all getting along? Have you come up with a company name?
I came up with the idea of spindle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because through vinyl, like just the spindle that you put a record on. Hidden Reel Productions, which is kind of what I settled with.
That's cool. Hidden Reel.
I think we've come up with a colour scheme and a kind of vibe idea.
Great.
Which is in the Figma. It's in a rectangle thing. But I guess it's like we had a certain name, and then once you change the lettering, you have to move things about a bit to make it still look good. But
you've got to get on that, Alan. Get on it.
Get on that name, mate.
I mean, now that we've got this design, and then we've got the black and white photos and things, and I think the visuals are pretty set. What would you say, Alan?
I think they're great, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess it's now just like making this design into different formats, like the website and the banners and all that. So yeah. Pretty much all looking good.
Any movement on the video?
Yeah, literally just touch base with Anna on design stuff. I'm going to try and take whatever elements we do and do a little bit of like almost a little micro-y animation thing. And then it'll be collecting assets from what we filmed today to condense basically into like a 1 minute
Yeah.
kind of short reel, basically.
Brilliant. We transferred all this.
Yeah, so that was interesting. I was kind of looking into that, and there were a few different plans, and then Robbie and Jack kind of pointed out that they updated their terms and conditions a while back. I've looked it up, and a spokesperson has kind of come out and said we will not be using it for AI learning, but the clause itself is still sort of in there, and obviously people are kind of moving away from it a bit. So I did also look into just selling product on Squarespace, which you can do. You can just kind of put a digital project up for download and people can pay and blah blah blah.
I think it would be interesting to try WeTransfer just to see how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wouldn't worry about all of that stuff.
Okay.
For just for the time being. We can't build a Squarespace site without the URL and the.
So I've started building one, and I'm just kind of
Great.
keeping the tab open. So I've got like a little bare bones. Right, see, that's me kind of looking at domains, but I've got a bit of a bare bones thing with kind of the color scheme that Anna came up with, and just
Yeah, I like that.
just that was kind of the WeTransfer little vector link, and then that could be
That's
a digital
great.
product. So it's,
Looks lovely.
you know, we can just kind of build that out as we go, but just so we have kind of a starting point essentially, and something to put assets into once they're ready. So yeah.
I think just go ahead and reel.
Yeah, I think it's great. It looks
I think
great.
just go with that. Like seeing it, it's quite nice. Like,
Yeah, it does
doing
look. It looks quite good.
nice,
Yeah.
so-
Great. So we can go ahead with that.
Yeah.
Just saying, the bad news is it sounds a little bit like a sampled saxophone, but it provides amazing raw material for messing around. So this is the true sax. But mess around with some LFOs and some filters.
Good for you to be in the middle of that. This is the...
Dylan, you're the birthday boy.
Yeah. I'm just trying to like hide in the corner.
Right, I'll get off so I'm not double in.
Hey Anna.
Hello.
So there's been great. Anna, really congratulations on the branding work. Absolutely love it.
Thanks.
It's our GUI.
Nice.
So we're not registering it with Company's House, but it is available. Correct?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
We bought the domain.
Yep.
Have you got WeTransfer? You need the Pro version. Have you got
Yeah.
that? Great.
Have you got that?
Yeah, that's what I set up.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
Have you connected WeTransfer to
Yes.
Stripe? Bloody hell! Look at this. Have you set up the YouTube?
Yep.
Instagram?
Yep.
Well, hey,
Both with Hidden Reel Productions. That's just the
Yeah, yeah.
name, by the way. So
brilliant. Blurb?
I've done one for me, but I need to do one for the instrument.
Okay. Sample instrument, nearly there. So all of the site stuff is pretty much prepared, isn't it?
more
Great.
or less.
More or less. Okay, so kind of in progress. So basically, what we need to do is we're going to do just a minute video that works both for Instagram and for YouTube / piano book.
I was also thinking it could be cool on the website to have like a little video block with a bit of footage.
I think the thinking is to literally just take that,
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
a horizontal web
Yeah.
looper,
Brilliant.
Mhm. Just
right in
do
the middle.
thing.
Fantastic. And Robbie's filming everything.
Are we wanting to go almost with overlapping with like the blurb stuff that he's writing? Is it something that is maybe addressing the overarching theme of the video, or is it more of a kind of Alan at the centre of it?
I think my
delivering
name's
themselves,
Alan.
I think?
I'm a saxophonist, and I've got one of these big saxes called a baritone sax. I made this thing. You can download it for free at Piano Book, but also, if you really like it, there's a fuller version or something like that.
Cool. Right. Okay.
was thinking what would be nice to do a GUI with a little
there's a
caricature of Alan.
Oh yes!
A little hidden Alan.
I think that might be quite fun.
That's it might come up as you put the modulation up. Just
Right. Setting up a piano booth.
Mm-hmm.
Log in,
Yep.
and then
You need to join now. You might want to put the company name.
can you change the display name? Like, so if you put it in, or is it like that's it?
You never told me there was going to be any tricky questions.
Nice. Perfect. Cool.
If you go into edit profile,
So in profile.
you've got all sorts of options.
So I can also I can put my actual name in as well.
Apparently so.
So I went through the process of chopping up by hand every single quaver that Alan played with motors and then all of the longs, put them together. And the plan was to have a bunch of different saxophones, but I simply felt that we were not going to get the time to work with all of that over-ambition and wanted some real post-production time because, as I suspected, it ended up sounding like a saxophone sample library. And if you want one of them, I got a really good one to play you in a minute. In its most honest sense, this is Alan's saxophone. There's an interesting tone to that. So I put a low-pass filter on it and an LFO on that low-pass filter, and we ended up with and that'll go in time with your door. But then stumbled across this sound. A lot of fun there, but finally really enjoy this Wayland pad. So there's a few little references to Blade Runner there. Doesn't quite become a saxophone. So all of those are available, the free version on Piano Book. And these motors are part of what you get for the full version, which you get from his new website. And then so just basically some different takes on that stuff. Right, this tenor saxophone is by Hid Pieters. Excuse me if I've mispronounced your name, sir.
Hi.
How are you?
Hello. Good. How's it going?
I think we're done.
Wow.
Which is quite
I'm very
exciting.
mad.
So this is the finished thing with Alan's almost face.
That's really cool.
Got some really cool stuff. Now, for someone who doesn't like saxophones, I think you'll find this quite amusing. Saxophone, track count. For someone who doesn't like saxophones, I had 998 of them in there, and it's I've performed 3,784 edits. Yeah, which has been fun. But you guys have been busy too. Fucking hell. Look at that. It looks so good.
Going back to the freelance world at that age is pretty scary, you know, because you feel that you're almost having to start again. But then you realise that actually you're not, because you've got experience, and 2, you've got the contacts. So it makes it a little bit easier and you can fall back into it. And that's why I was saying, like, yesterday was just a lot of laughter. There was a lot of piss taken on at my expense, I think, from some of it, but I'm quite happy with that, you know.
Well, I think we should put Alan's face up there.
Oh yeah, what's the name for that? It's called something.
The favicon or something?
Yeah, it's got like a specific name.
Yeah. Oh, we should put your face there, actually.
Yeah,
That's
go
much
ahead,
better than the logo.
Gotta do it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Free, and then it goes, yay! Amazing. Hidden reel. Fantastic. So you're going to submit to Piano Book. If only we knew someone from Piano Book who could fast track it. Absolutely brilliant. And you've got YouTube.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
So that's under the little author section as well.
Yeah, it should have buttons.
On the website.
yeah, there should be.
There's buttons.
Where's buttons?
So but found it.
Oh, look.
Wow.
And Instagram as well.
Just next to the.
Sorry, yeah. Oh man! Fantastic. So we need to follow that. Well done, everyone.
Big thank you.
That's been mental. And you've got an animation.
Yeah, there'll be a reel going up, a short.
Hi there. I'm Alan, a saxophonist based in Edinburgh. I'd had enough of enduring endless anti-saxophone rants from my friend media composer Christian Henson, and founded Hidden Reel Productions to prove once and for all that it is possible to create a saxophone sample library that even he would use. The Saxodrone. Never having liked the sound of sampled saxophones, the whole point of this library is for the end result to sound nothing like a saxophone. Think pads, percussive hits, and rhythmic motors. Head to hiddenreelproductions.com to download either a free version or, if you're feeling generous, a fully featured paid-for version. Enjoy.
But we're there. We did it. Well done. And well done, Anna.
Yeah, well done.
Whee! We're just saying it's Robbie's turn next. We'll do a Will It Shred.
Yeah.
Anna, you've been on the ukulele a bit, haven't you, recently?
We all have
Anna's
our own.
Uke Library. Yeah, it's a really, really good job, everyone. And Robbie, you've also been, well, you both have been, Jack and Robbie have been slavishly, like, basically burning all of our SD cards.
There was just lots of laughter as well. It wasn't serious. It wasn't like heads down, 2 days of really solid crunching hard work. It was hard work, but there was a lot of kind of like great laughs about it as well. I say I'd do it again in a heartbeat, so long as it wasn't me that was being sampled. It was amazing. I mean, it was surreal. I think having like Crow Hill create a sample library for you is quite, not many people can get to say that. So you join, you know, a kind of roster of people that can actually say that the team that have created some amazing stuff, you know, worked for you. And I think having Christian do the library itself, like that was huge, you know, because you do have one of the best samplers in the world really just doing his thing. And he seemed to enjoy it. Like we were chatting about it after, and he was like, you know, this, he did say it was like, it's like making sample instruments is his happy place, you know. So it was great to see that, and it's a great insight to see how he actually works. But yeah, really, really quite surreal. I think the other thing is as well, when you then play a keyboard and it's you, or you know that it's, as much as it's kind of warped sounds and it's like pads and things, but you know that you are the organic material that made that sound. It's kind of a weird experience. And I know there might be people kind of watching this and thinking that, yeah, that's fine, you know, but there's a team of people who are all experienced and know what they're doing. I don't know what I'm doing. It's going to take me a lot longer. Fine. You know, it took us 2 days. If it takes you 2 months to do it, to do a similar thing, like, do it. It's a really cool experience. And if you've got friends that can help, like if you've got people that you can call on that can give you a hand with stuff, even better. Because I don't think musicians are meant to live in isolation, or creatives are meant to live in isolation. I don't think we do well sitting in your own, like, your little like space and not interacting with people. I don't think we do well. I think the best work that anybody does is when they're around people. And the last couple of days is really, for me, it's really kind of shown that. I think we've always known that, but I think when it's just, like I say, it was meant to be a quite quiet week. People are away on holiday, there's no releases. And then Christian on the Monday at the content meeting on Monday just goes, right, we're going to do this. Mad idea. And everybody, there was a kind of little bit of the thing of, is this even, can we do it? Is this possible? And then sure enough, you know, everybody just knocks it out of the park. And then we're sitting here with it finished. So yeah, real surreal experience for me, but I've loved every minute of it.